You hear a lot of people that made a lot of money doing flips, selling real estate, having rental properties. That doesn't mean that those are right strategies for you. So some of you may have a goal to generate income, to live off of on a monthly basis. And some of you may have a day job and just really look to build long-term wealth. You don't really necessarily want to spend the money that it generates. You want to reinvest that or buy something that doesn't necessarily generate a lot of cash flow, but might grow in wealth over time. So first, let's look at the goal of making income, where you make money on a monthly basis that you actually can spend to pay your bills. Some strategies that support that goal would be wholesaling, is a way that people with no savings, no access to cash can get started in real estate. They go out and they find deals and then they sell those to investors. They can join local real estate investor associations and go meet more experienced real estate investors who like to buy and hold, or even folks that like to flip. They could go knock on doors. They could focus on subdivision that the investor likes. And I've done this before and I have no problem paying a wholesaler a fee to flip me a deal. So another strategy that supports the goal of income generation is flipping. You go in like you see on the TV shows and they renovate it. They may have some capital or they may borrow some money from what is known as hard money lenders. And these are investors with capital who will loan money out to investors, maybe 12% or something like that. Trailer rentals. You can buy these used mobile homes for not very much money, maybe $10,000. You don't make appreciation with these, but they do cash flow a lot. And then there's also mini storage units. Generally doesn't appreciate in value. It's more of a business, and so it's more of an income. So some of the pros of these, you need minimal to no capital to do these. Like wholesaling, you don't have to have any cash to do that. Being a realtor, you don't have to have any capital to do that. Flipping, you're going to need to either have some or have some access to some. You can gain great experience through doing some of these. Active income, you're having to show up every day and work. A lot of this income is going to be taxed as earned income or short-term capital gains when you sell some of these. And again, these are some of the highest income tax rates. All right, so those were some strategies around the goal of creating income. Now let's switch to if your goal is wealth building. In general, these are going to include buying and holding income producing properties, such as single family homes, and that's my favorite. It would also include multifamily units or properties. And so that could be a duplex, a triplex, or a quadplex. And those would be good for first time investors because they will qualify for owner occupied rates. Those are the 30-year fixed rates with the least amount of down payments. Commercial properties are another strategy that supports a wealth building goal. That sector of the market is currently on sale. People are working from home right now. I think there's a great opportunity, maybe some medical facilities, and those are the tenants in my commercial space, by the way. So if you can get into some commercial property that cash flows and you feel confident that those industries will be around in the foreseeable future to need a brick and mortar, I think that there can be a lot of wealth built in that space over the next little while. Also, I think you'll see a lot more of commercial properties coming on the market. Those leases tend to be much longer, 5-year or more, and as those start to end and tenants don't renew, that will continue to flood the market with more properties for sale, or at least vacancies in those properties. And the lack of income is going to cause the value of those to go down as well, which will just make the situation worse for those owners and the opportunity better for you as buyers. Some of the pros and cons of the different strategies that support the goal of wealth building. So the pros are going to be passive income. You make money 24/7 while you're sleeping, while you're on vacation, while you're exercising, and while you're working at your day job. It's great for people who have a full-time job or a career in something else and they just want to do it passively on the side. Another fantastic thing about these strategies that support wealth building is the income tax rates are significantly lower. So with rental property income, you're taxed at a passive rate, which is low. So also the value of your building is appreciated by 27 and a half years. You get to write off as an expense for something that you didn't actually have to spend money on. That will go against the income that you bring in to offset or lower the rental income on an annual basis. That can even cause you to lower your earned income from your day job by up to $25,000 a year, saving you taxes that you would pay on your earned income at your day job otherwise. And then when you sell one of these properties, if you hold it for more than a year, then you'll benefit from the long-term capital gains rates, which are some of the most favorable rates in the tax table. So what are some cons related to these strategies that support wealth building? They basically are the barrier to entry is moderate, I would say. You will need some capital or some access to capital through some credit. I recommend having home equity lines of credit, and I also recommend starting out with a house that you own because you got a home loan on it and you could just repeat that process by moving to another home. I also want to talk a minute about capital preservation, buying a property and putting 100% down on the property so you're not using financial leverage at all. Who would want to do this? If an entity or a person wanted to put some money into a safe place and park it there, but also let it grow with inflation, real estate is a good vehicle for that. Maybe they have another risky part of their portfolio elsewhere. So most beginner real estate investors don't typically put all the money down on a property and just gain the rate of inflation. They usually highly leverage their investments, which I do and I recommend. You might put down 3 or 5 or 20% and then get to exponentially magnify your return on your investment by using other people's money or banks' money. I don't really like to invest in land because if you just raw land or a lot or something like that, a vacant piece of land, it's generally just absorbing cost. You're having to pay property taxes on it, and it's because they don't produce any income. I see those as more of a speculative play. If you feel like an area of town is going to be coming up or something's going to be coming off this interstate or light rail is coming to your city, and so you're kind of betting based on what you know or your experience that you think it's going to become more valuable in the future, and that's fine. That's not my game. And as long as this thing produced some income in the future that offset all those costs, then I would say you're fine. And developers will buy and develop some land and sell it to builders who make subdivisions. Spend some time thinking about all this and think about, never really thought about the goals. I thought income producing and wealth building was kind of the same in one. So digest that and think about what your goals are, what they are today, and if that may change in the future. What are some strategies that play to those goals? If your goal was income producing, I need money now to eat, or I want to do a little bit on the side, then you might say, well, I'm handy. I know how to do a lot of construction, kind of building stuff around my house. I think I could do a flip and I like those shows. And so you could kind of start there. Or maybe you don't know anything about being handy, but you're kind of a salesy business kind of person, and you might want to be a wholesaler where you sell deals or find deals for other investors, just kind of depending on what some of your natural skill sets are. Let me know in the comments below what questions you have and what strategies you're thinking about doing and what you would like to see next on some of my videos. Thank you for watching my channel. If you would hit the like button and subscribe, it would really help the channel. I really enjoy helping new investors get to their first dozen or so properties. I'm a licensed realtor in Tennessee and in Georgia. I'm also a licensed CPA. I've bought 45 properties in my lifetime. I currently have 33 in my portfolio, which are worth 8 figures, and my rental income is now over 7 figures. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.